The little girl came out of nowhere, barefoot on hot asphalt, her thin dress flapping against her knees as she ran straight toward the row of motorcycles idling outside the roadside diner, tears carving clean tracks through the dust on her cheeks, her small chest heaving like she'd already run miles before she ever reached them. To anyone watching, it looked like a terrible mistake, a child charging into a wall of leather, steel, and scarred faces, but fear had already burned through every instinct she had. She grabbed the sleeve of the nearest biker with both hands and sobbed, "Please. Grandpa can't move." Her words stumbled out broken, soaked in panic, barely loud enough to carry over the low growl of engines, yet somehow every biker heard them. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. Coffee cups froze halfway to mouths. One by one, engines cut off until the parking lot fell into a heavy, stunned silence. The man she clung to was big, shoulders wide beneath his worn vest, grey threaded through his beard, eyes that had seen more than most people could imagine, and he looked down at her not with anger or annoyance but with sudden, sharp concern. He crouched so they were eye level, the smell of oil and leather mixing with the clean scent of her shampoo, and asked softly where her grandpa was. She pointed with a shaking finger toward the aging trailer park across the road, her sobs growing harder as if the act of pointing made the fear more real. "He fell," she cried. "He can't get up. He told me not to call anyone. He said they'd take the house." That sentence hit like a punch. The biker's face hardened, not with rage, but with recognition, because he knew that fear well, the fear of hospitals, bills, forms you can't read, people who smile while they take everything you have left. He stood slowly, turned his head toward the men and women around him, riders who had crossed deserts together, buried friends together, survived things no one else wanted to hear about, and said just two words, low and steady, "Gear up." No one asked why. No one questioned him. They moved with practiced ease, helmets on, gloves pulled tight, bikes roaring back to life as the little girl stepped back, eyes wide, watching what she'd started. The leader motioned for her to hop on behind him, wrapped her in his spare jacket, and told her to hold on, his voice calm in her ear as the bikes surged forward in a tight formation, crossing the road like a rolling storm, neighbors speaking through curtains, uncertainty flickering in their eyes as the sound swallowed the quiet afternoon. Part 2. They reached the trailer in seconds, the bikes fanning out as they stopped, engines cutting one by one, leaving only the distant hum of traffic and the girl's quick breathing as she jumped down and ran inside, the biker leader close behind her. The trailer smelled of old wood and medicine, the air thick with summer heat and worry, and there on the floor lay her grandfather, a thin man with a weathered face, one leg twisted beneath him, sweat beading on his forehead as he tried to smile his way through pain that made his hands tremble. "Told you I was fine," he muttered when he saw his granddaughter, though his voice cracked, pride fighting fear with every breath. The biker knelt beside him without hesitation, setting aside every rough edge, speaking gently like someone who would done this before. "Sir, you're not fine," he said. "And that's okay. We're gonna help you." The old man shook his head weakly, whispering about money, about losing the trailer, about not wanting to be a burden, and the biker listened, really listened, then pulled out his phone and called for an ambulance anyway, his thumb steady as he gave the address. "I lost a house once trying to be tough," he admitted quietly, covering the old man's shaking hand with his own. "Won't let you lose yours." While they waited, the rest of the bikers moved with quiet purpose, one fetching cold water and wiping the old man's brow, another checking the trailer steps and fixing the loose board that had caused the fall, to more sitting with the little girl at the tiny kitchen table, making her a sandwich from what little food they found, telling her stories about the road until her sobs faded into hiccups and then silence. When the ambulance finally arrived, sirens cutting through the air, the old man protested again, but the biker leader leaned close and said, "Your granddaughter already paid the price for your pride today. Let us take it from here." Paramedics lifted him carefully, and as they did, one of the bikers quietly slipped an envelope onto the counter, thick with cash, no note, no explanation, just help with no strings attached. When the ambulance doors closed and drove away, the bikers stayed, fixing what needed fixing, cleaning what they could, making sure the girl wasn't alone when night came. Before they left, the leader crouched in front of her, tapped his chest, and said, "You were brave. Never forget that." As the bikes rolled away, their sound fading into the distance, the trailer park felt different, lighter somehow, and the little girl stood taller in the doorway, knowing that sometimes the people the world warns you about are the ones who show up first, stay the longest, and leave the deepest mark when it matters most.